Thanks, Simon. Don't you just love this competition? It's the champions to finish this exciting weekend and the chance to take a firm hold on the group as well. But it's not going to be easy. Munster know that from their visit here last season. And although Clermont and Verne have not been in the greatest form this season, they have been scarred by the loss here at home to Sale. A defeat that has put their Heineken Cup challenge in grave danger.
Well, Clermont must go flat out to stay in the competition, whereas Munster come into the game knowing exactly what is required. Last year, a losing bonus point defeat was the launch pad for glory, but with Clermont and Sale in this pool, as Tony McGann said, how they would love the breathing space of an away win here in colourful, hostile Montferrand.
Clermont have earned knowing that this is pretty much make or break then, and they've picked a side to reflect that. A back line that, if given the ball, could cause serious damage. Aurélien Rougerie back to captain on the wing to soften the blow of losing the suspended Nalanga, who scored twice in round 2 against Montauban. And in the pack, there's another boost with Jamie Cudmore returning, the Canadian international, part of a back row that features 19-year-old Alexandre Lapandré at 7 on his Heineken Cup debut. Munster's pack, though, without 2 of their European heavyweights, hooker Jerry Flannery and back row man Dennis Leamy. Flannery may be back next week. Sadly, Leamy will not, injured straight after his return to action. So Frank Sheehan steps into the number 2 shirt, and it's Niall Ronan at 7. David Wallace at number 8, a role he has performed successfully many times before, and most recently in round 2 at Sale. And in the backs, no Rua Tupoki in midfield, so that means Barry Murphy, the only man to score a try against the New Zealand All Blacks, wears 13. On the benches, Elvis Vermeulen left out of the starting 15 for Clermont, but a significant presence to have in reserve. It's a beautiful winter's day, just as it was here last season, here in the capital of the Massif Central. And it felt like a win here last season. That Munster bonus point seemed important at the time, and it certainly turned out to be crucial, ultimately preventing Clermont from topping the pool.
Yeah, and Clermont went on, of course, to play in the French final, losing to Toulouse when many people had them as favourites, and it seems to have hurt Clermont this season. They're 5th in the league, they haven't really started well, but a 29-9 win against Perpignan, who were so impressive at Welford Road yesterday, suggests that at home, with a very powerful backline out, this is a live and present threat to Munster.
You can almost feel the hurt in the ground, that defeat to Sale at the start of this Heineken Cup campaign for Clermont. Munster arrived this time looking to go one step further than a losing bonus point, but knowing that there's not only points at stake today, but home pride too. Out comes Paul O'Connell on his side. Sale Sharks were excellent here, but Clermont were embarrassed conceding those 4 tries, and that is likely to lead to a spirited reaction today, the kind of fight shown in their gritty win at Montauban in round 2. There's going to be a battle for Munster. Here comes Clermont in this tightly packed stadium, looking to raise their European game. The crowd certainly ready to raise the volume. Many Munster fans in town too. The atmosphere great. Not as many as were in Paris yesterday, but at the moment you wouldn't know it. And we'll pause now as Clermont prepared to come out to soak up this noise.
Well, what Sale did was a fantastic job of slowing Clermont down. Rougerie has been injured a lot of the season. He's one of the best wingers in Europe, so powerful on the right wing. On the other wing, Julien Malzieu is a current French international, every bit as strong as Rougerie. With Anthony Floss at full-back, it's as good a back three as there is in France. And if Brock James and Mignoni can get the width on this game, then Clermont will be dangerous. Munster, as Will said, must slow down the ball to the half-backs and force Brock James to play inappropriate rugby.
Well, there is Brock James about to start the match alongside referee Wayne Barnes. And there were moments in last year's encounter that required post-match investigation. It was very competitive, if you know what I mean. And that's because so much was riding on it. Ditto this season, ditto all of these games now. We're in the heart of the pool stages. No slip-up territory. Here's Rougerie. Flosch. And Malzieu, and we see all three of the Clermont back three, and we see how big they are as well. Cudmore back into the side. Been out for a couple of months with a groin problem. Well, Rougerie was the decoy run-up. Here's Ledesma, 35 years of age now. James. Munster have a chance to get their hands on it in the shape of Keith Earls. His opposite number, fullback, is Anthony Flosch.
Well, Ronan O'Gara has to get his kicking right. Heavily on his right foot there, but just look at this. Rougerie, big miss pass to his fullback Flosch, and then Malzieu. They're on the go, they're playing quickly at the moment, Clermont, but they will counter.
Short tactic. We're back into the 22, but again, the intention is to keep it in field anyway. O'Gara. Howlett had almost got in front of him there. Would have been very close, that. Will be a Munster throw into the line out.
Two here now.
Nice play there. Ronan O'Gara saw some space, and Mignoni, at the heartbeat of this team, especially behind the scrum, read it well, was Howlett was snaking towards that ball. Howlett against Malzieu, what a battle that is on the wing.
Mignoni was the covering scrum half. Here's Frank Sheehan. He's 32 now, so alongside Ledesma or against Ledesma. Both wrong side of 30. Wily campaigners. O'Connell's take, just signed a new deal. And that's forward.
Forward pass.
As Wallace was trying to go through.
Nice idea that. Ronan, the debutant there, just trying to lure a few of Clermont players to him. It's coming off a secure ball of Paul O'Connell. But Wallace, man of the match against Sale, an outstanding runner, 1-2 out from the breakdown. Ronan tried to get him in there. Interesting battle. Ronan v Lapondre, two debutants on the open side, one of the most important positions in rugby.
There's evidence in this competition. Well, that man certainly isn't. John Hayes, Ireland's most capped prop forward. Munster's most capped prop forward too now. And another in the mid-30s bracket.
John Hayes, you know, is another player who's been maligned at times throughout his career. There's always been question marks about, is he too tall, is his back too long, can't he scrummage? And there have been moments when you just think, well, like, people get to him in the green shirt. He's done a pretty good job for Ireland, but when he puts on the red shirt of Munster, he's been fantastic. His work rate is always exceptional.
Well, the Lions did go well for him, did it? But he wasn't alone in that. It wasn't the best for Paul O'Connell. It looks as if O'Connell is going to get another chance in South Africa this summer with the Lions. Many people, of course, believe that he should be one of the names inked in. Certainly those wearing red here at the ground today. And there are plenty of them in the stands.
He's got a battle with Lloyd Jacquet today in the line-out as well.
Here's Brock James. Howlett. Not his best kick.
For Munster, though, I think quite often today you'll see quite long kicks that are a little bit conservative because they just won't want to feed this extremely dangerous Clermont back three, and they'll sacrifice 5 or 10 metres just to make sure the pace of the game isn't too fast. Force Clermont to play from set ball.
Good accurate throw there from Ledesma. We see a lot of him around the field, but he does the essential job of the throwing into the line out very well indeed. Here's Mignoni. Zirakashvili, the Georgian. Driven back, look at O'Connell there, that is excellent. From the leader. James to Umbai. Malzieu. Well, they got away from the first challenge, that of Barry Murphy. And we saw the power there of Malzieu. Mignoni. That's Domingo. Low centre of gravity, local man, big favourite here. Little inside ball from Mignoni. Keeping those forwards working for him. Scrum half again, out to fly half James. Umbai to Benoit Babi, French international. Ledesma's a lovely offload. There's the youngster Lapandre. Mignoni, James. Working hard here, Clermont Auvergne. Need to get close to that 22 to cause any threat. Umbai. Domingo, another nice offload by front row man. Here comes Rougerie. Earls trying to make the tackle, Dowling there with him. They're not the biggest, those two. Rougerie certainly is one of the biggest on the field in back terms. Flosh.
Just a little. Six red.
Munster had to tackle hard last year, didn't they? And they're having to tackle hard at the start here. Good start from Clermont.
Mignoni is going back to James for the drop goal, and that is a mile wide. But he knew there was an advantage being played for a penalty, so it was a free hit, Stuart.
Yeah, no, Munster's midfield, they're expecting people like Flosh and Rougerie to come in, but the big men like Malzieu coming off the left. This is what you're going to see, people like Malzieu trying to get on the outside, but this time Munster have got it marked, but they're going to have to be careful there. It's really well read, but you're going to get big runners infield, decoys wide. You'll see Rougerie doing the same off the other flank. Very patient start there. Current international in the French team, he and Rougerie, I mean, very different style to the Toulouse wingers who are so sinuous and graceful. This is pace and this is power.
Saw their 3 Heineken Cup appearances, also 3 appearances in the autumn international period for France, as you say, current international. Brock James, the Australian, has never had that honour for his country of birth, but he's got the honour of taking the first kick here today, and he's hit it pretty well. He's hit it very well indeed. Not from the touch judges. Brock James, who got all the points here against Sale. 5 penalty goals that day, starts with 3 against Munster.
Mario Ledesma right on the gain line. That's where the Clermont forwards want to be. They've got 7 changes up front from the team who won here last week. 6 of the same back line, but we're seeing the same sort of stuff from the team all round. Big, powerful, abrasive, hard running.
Chases from Donnachrow Callahan, and O'Connell with him as well.
Hands down. Back feet, just a little. Thank you.
Joined at the hip, those two.
Now a step again.
Certainly in the restart situation, it's a battle to get there first. Dowling's coming up, and that's good catch from Dowling, and then in that way of his, he swivels away from the challenge. O'Leary out to O'Gara, and Munster a first chance to move it through the hands. Maffey finds Howlett. And Umbai is trying to get back here on Murphy, and that's a fine carry from Barry Murphy. Really was. O'Leary out to O'Gara, pulls it back to find Keith Earls. It was very sharp. John Hayes there with him, but Clermont are digging away. It's coming back on the Munster side. Howlett tackled. Take a man and ball there.
Great defence, Benoit Babi.
O'Gara. You can see what he's trying to do, find Wallace. Rougerie thinks about the quick one. Wallace has his eyes on that just in case. Didn't quite work that time from O'Gara.
Very strong defence there from Benoit Babi, former Toulouse player. Came very early. He was flirting with the offside line, but When you come over that line fast enough, sometimes it's very hard to pick it out.
He's no fancy Dan, is he, Benoit Babi? Made his international debut, scored a try against Ireland, and he also got a 4-week ban after what he did in that game.
Yeah, and here's Barry Murphy, very different sort of centre, far more graceful runner, but very strong there. And Bai will be disappointed he didn't pull him down earlier. The first chance for Munster to put some width on the ball. Ronan O'Gara's last pass was a poor one, but two good wide passes. Munster too change their game, will not be afraid to go wide.
Already gone.
Away it comes from Bonaire at the base to Mignoni, and Mignoni's quick. Oh, Rougerie was dangerous there as well. The long and the short of it there, the winger and the scrum half. And they were both shifting. Here goes Ronan.
Oh!
Didn't quite work there. It was a promising moment as Ronan went on.
That's more than promising. That was a real chance there. All you expected from your 7 is to get halfway through the challenge. He does. Horan's there. I know he's a prop forward, but Horan's as quick as any prop forward around. Little soft passer, just perhaps a little bit of nerves there. Good lines, though.
The loss of Dennis Levy to any back row is a significant one, but Munster have learned to live without him this season, such as being his injury problems. Ronan's been in form. And that's Wallace, who's operating at number 8 and operating very strongly. Here's Ronan again. Come to ground, Wayne Barnes says.
John Hayes straight off his feet there. Good example of David Wallace carrying from a very powerful carrier. Wayne Barnes, quick, decisive, not wasting his words. You can't do that, carry on. John Hayes knows.
Lève-toi, Alex, pas les mains sur les genoux. Lève-toi.
David Wallace's brother Paul, now part of our team, of course, was a famous Lion in South Africa in '97. Who'd have thought David Wallace would be very much in the Lions management team thoughts this season as well. But all of that to come, but players will use matches like this to stake claims. I mean, we trot this line out all the time, but it's so true. I mean, they're just a slight notch down from Test match rugby, and right up there with certain Test matches.
Yeah, international rugby, as England know, if you just go off your feet like John Hayes did, or rather, you can't stay on your feet, carry your weight, bear your weight, you will get penalised non-stop there. And you can't afford to here, because Clermont will hurt you if they get territory.
See there, the big tall Lapandreou rejoins. 6'4" on the open side. Munster will put into the scrum.
Well, that must be the 1,000,000th time Munster have turned over ball when the opposition are creeping into their 22. They are the masters of those arts. It's not the prettiest thing in rugby, but boy, is it a foundation for having a winning team, and a team that's so hard to penetrate.
Crouch, touch.
Tomas O'Leary to put in now in front of Owen Reddin, as well as Peter Stringer here at Munster. Well played.
That was a forward pass, bind please.
By Wallace, and problem with the binding penalty.
Binding, number 7.
And a chance for O'Gara to clear.
Lapandreou off the scrum. It's actually, with all the ELVs and the protocol rules, referees tend to forget old rules. It's the way of the game. Wayne Barnes, just a reminder that open sides have to stay tied down. He's picked up that one very quickly. And again, Wallace just showed, not just that he's powerful and quick, but he's got good footwork as well. The pass went forward, but he's had a good start at 8 for Munster.
It was Cudmore who was penalised right in front of the referee, but Lapandreou too on this near side only had a fingertip on the scrum. It falls, and it's well taken by Julien Pierre, who's added a bit of bite to the Clermont second row this season. And there's another man who's done that, Loic Jacquet, very promising young player. Ever since he captained the French under-21 side, he's been marked out. Zirakashvili carries on.
All on the gain line, that attack.
Munster ball, turnover, Hayes almost in front of the pass there from Quinlan. And that looks forward this time, definitely forward from O'Gara to Dowling.
He's smiling.
Well, there's a doubt about the previous one, wasn't there? But that one certainly
that was a definite one.
You could see he shaped himself. The right shoulder just leaned in towards the opposition. Here's the Georgian prop, Zirakashvili, carrying very well. And again, Clermont trying to go bang, 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 right on the gain line. Then the Munster turnover. turnover game. You know, Munster are doing pretty well at that. They've nicked one from a driving lineup. They've nicked one from a good attacking position from Clermont. Critical for Munster to maintain that ability to destroy Clermont throughout the game.
Martin Scelzo, the Argentina international prop forward, out at the moment with a shoulder problem. Here's Babi, but there's no loss of brutishness in that Clermont front row with Zirakashvili, or at loose head with this little powerful man, Domingo, little in height, stature, in the vertical sense, not his width, certainly the width of those legs.
Man's a barrel, isn't he? But again, Munster are withstanding the attacks very well at the moment.
Mignoni, James, Umbai, Babi trying to get the ball out of the tackle. It's a good strong clutch there from Alan Quinlan, and he goes back in for a little bit more. O'Gara resumes his position in time to be able to get it out towards Maffey, and that's threaded through nicely and along from Murphy to Earls to Howlett down the line. They've worked a tight space really well there, the Munster backs, and they're going to get a penalty. And they wanted more. You can see the reaction there of Murphy. He wanted that ball back quickly because he felt that Clermont Auvergne was struggling to get back into defensive positions. But it will be a penalty.
All comes from the vision of Ronan O'Gara. There was a turnover. He went one way with the pass. He then knew the space was the other way. Munster chased it after the clever kick through from Doug Howlett. And there's the penalty. But again, great pressure. Alan Quinlan, our very own McCavity the Cat, always involved in stealing, and he never gets caught. But O'Gara did absolutely superbly now, because look, he's just turned it back. He's going left. It's not on. He goes the other way, and that's a beautiful bit of footwork from Maffey. Howlett, as he does so well, checks to buy himself half a metre of space. The clever kick, then the chase for absolutely nothing. Munster get a turnover, they get a penalty kick at goal. It's pure Munster.
Cavity, and he does manage Quinlan to have a hidden paw from the referee so many occasions.
Ah, you're a T.S. Eliot man, Miles. Excellent.
O'Gara, fine kick as well. Good start from O'Gara, as well as James for Clermont Auvergne, and in those two you have men who will punish.
Yeah, they can kick an infringing team to death. It's an interesting start, isn't it? Because Clermont had the lion's share of the ball. There's plenty of power coming through, but what Munster have been able to do is make sure there isn't too much pace at the moment. And Munster, with 3 turnovers already, will be delighted with that aspect of the game, where they have been the masters of Europe for so long.
Catches from Maffey, not alongside Ruatapoki today, but Barry Murphy, another player to have returned from injury and to be right in form at the moment. Kick is from O'Leary, and it's a good kick chase from the men in red, and they've got another penalty because of it.
And then you played it.
Brilliant basics. O'Leary last year had a fantastic running game. He was very alert. Sometimes his kicking wasn't spot on. That's perfect. And Doug Howlett, as ever, just does the basics brilliantly. He just is such an encouragement to those around him, because you know if you get your part right, Howlett will not make the error, or very, very rarely.
Carry on. Exactly where you're stood.
He was trying to nick a metre there, Ronan O'Gara, wasn't he?
It could be a vital metre as well, he knows it. So does the referee. David Maffey, try here last season, just receiving a little bit of treatment and having a well-earned drink as well.
That's a wonderful kick from O'Leary, but the best kicks become even better when they're chased well, and that's a superb chase from Doug Howlett. You hardly ever see him take a man out in the air. He knows he's going to be penalised. He just waits, maximum pressure, best chance of an error. Well done, Howlett and O'Leary there.
O'Gara, well, he's closer to the halfway line than he is the Clermont 10-metre line. He's going to have to give this a thump. Made a nice sound. and it looks good. Very good.
So from one turnover, one box kick and a bit of pressure that leads to a penalty, Munster come away with the hardest earned 6 points you can imagine. It's typical Munster. They're in the lead and they really haven't had much time in the Clermont half at all.
James with the restart. Earls. Yeah, it is typically Munster, isn't it? 19-minute mark. A couple of forays, nothing more, but two well-earned penalty situations, and O'Gara, the man, to take every opportunity of everything that is offered on the table.
So their dominant position in Europe over the last decade has come because they've always been kings of the bits and pieces. Now they're adding more, now they're nicking lineouts, that's why they're champions.
Ooh, not a good ball though from O'Leary to Dowling. It was a problem for the winger to make anything of that, and it's knocked forward and a chance for Clermont Auvergne to come back into things. They're hardly out of things, but just to show everybody that they're the home side.
You know, that ball wasn't meant for Dowling at all. That was aimed at Ronan O'Gara and it was meant to go downfield, and Dowling had come off the left wing. He was trying to help, but then he reached for a ball that was never his target. Sorry, for which he was never the target.
Touch. Balls engage. Middle.
Mignoni. James on by. This will be strong. And O'Leary makes a very good tackle. Gets a bit trampled for his pains as well.
Number 7, side entry.
And now Ronan's been pinged for going in offside there. And this should be the equalising 3 points for Brock James. There's a strong run from Seremiah Umbai, who's been involved recently, of course, with the Pacific Islanders on their European tour.
There you can see side from the number 7, no doubt about that. Didn't make any effort to get round the back. It was a good tackle there from O'Leary. And Umbai will run hard and fast. He's got good footwork. He's got that Fijian ability to just create space. But that time he was just bearing down on the inside channel, looking for the weak shoulder. He's got himself a penalty.
Big lad. James then. Got no silence for the kick here, home or away. The encouragement for James is rewarded with the 3 points from the Australian fly half. 6 apiece it is.
And this, you could say, is something of a contrast between Bath versus Glasgow. An absolutely wonderful, fluid game. For those of you who watched the first one, this is different. This is a game where defence and breakdowns are on top, where the intensity is very high indeed.
Good take from Jacquet. Referee's happy with what he saw there. Quinlan tries to put the pressure on. Dowling. Earls.
10.
James. There goes Wallace, nearly running into his own man, Thomas O'Leary. Game Wayne Barnes waves it on. Marcus Horan's arrived. Wasn't feeling particularly well yesterday, Horan, but he wasn't going to miss this.
Back feet, on goal, safe.
Had a full meal last night. At that point, everybody knew everything was okay. O'Leary. Kind of kicks that Howlett loves to chase. That one just a bit too in front of the winger. O'Connell in there again. As always, Paul O'Connell has made a very strong start to a Munster game. Always in the driving seat. James, meant for Umbai. And it's gone straight out, nearly straight into the dugout.
Well, that comes from Munster refusing to give Clermont Auvergne any quick ball at all. talked earlier about trying to get Brock James to play an inappropriate game. He tried to force something there because Munster's defence, either making the tackle or at the breakdown, is frustrating Clermont. We haven't seen much of Munster yet as an attacking force, but as a negative side at the moment. That red jersey's getting in just the right place. It's a good start for Munster. I think Tony McGowan will be pleased.
Sheehan throws, Quinlan palms, out it goes from O'Leary to O'Gara. Bit of fortune there, but Munster will take it. Here's O'Leary again. O'Connell. O'Leary somehow got that pass out. On to Quinlan. Good initial handoff from Quinlan. O'Leary. Long pass out to Earls. There's not too much space here. Plenty of yellow shirts. O'Gara going the other way. There might be better chances to the right. O'Leary can sense that, and Munster do have numbers out there. Ronan, one of them. Lovely little hands there from Wallace, and there's a chance to put it down, and it's been put down by Marcus Horan. And it's been given straight away. And this prop forward that simply loves to hang out wide and score those tries has done it again.
Well, it's wonderful hands, first of all, from Munster. But if you're going to be a loose head standing on the wing, you've got to be quick and you've got to know how to finish, and they did. Superb hands here. Ronan, that's excellent. David Wallace draws his man. Centre would have been delighted with the ball from Wallace. And that is very strong there from Horan. Uses all his upper body strength. And we said, we haven't seen Munster much as an attacking force. They negate Clermont first, and then they strike. That's really good. Quinlan with a thrust first of all. O'Gara again is fading late. He then goes right. Good balls from the two back row forwards. The one step from Wallace just fixed Malzieu. It gave half a metre to Horan, and half a metre was all he needed.
When Munster went left initially, Clermont and Verne had a chance to reorganise. They didn't take it, and Munster knew from that second point of recycling the ball that they had every chance. And Marcus Horan again is the man to take that chance, to use his power as well as his pace, and from out wide, Ronan O'Gara from the most testing of angles adds the conversion as well. That is a sensational passage of play then for Munster, the full 7 points. And look at the little step there from Horan. Then he uses the power, all on Malzieu, who floshed the fullback there as well. Very good.
Difference is Clermont can't get ball as quick as Munster did for that attack. Clermont could not slow Munster down. Munster changed the point of attack. They put the defence under pressure. Oh, and as for pressure,
Rougerie announces that Clermont and Verne are still in this. Away by O'Gara. What a tackle that was. That is right up with the strongest challenges we've seen all season.
Well, I thought this was a city that made tyres, not rockets, but that is absolute propelled stuff from the winger. That is a captain's example. Local boy, he wants it. Oh, Dowling knew all about that.
Stepping into the gap, which Wayne Barnes has tried to clear before. Frustrated with Clermont and Verne, gives the free kick. Ronan was very much part of the try. Ronan, play from the young man. Keith Earls overhits that one. Second time he's gone a little bit too long with those kicks downfield.
Yeah, again, Munster are prepared to go quite quickly, aren't they? And if nothing's on, they'll kick and force Clermont to go from deep. They're looking pretty comfortable now. They're looking in control of this game, dare I say it.
Well, don't say it to Rougerie. Here comes O'Gara after his own kick. But James stayed calm, man who had a spell at Queensland Reds and the Western Force too before setting up camp here in the middle of France.
It's a rare thing, isn't he? A Victorian who became an outstanding Union player. Not one of the great rugby areas of Australia, but he's found his home, as you say, here in the Auvergne. Hugely respected, not just in these parts, throughout France.
With Australia under 21s and 7s, not quite the full international breakthrough. But he's much admired here for the composure that he gives the side. Well, Sheehan did seem to take an age there.
Paul O'Connell was shouting at him, saying, "Put it in, Frankie." And you knew Wayne Barnes' whistle was going to break the silence. Scrum for Clermont. Again, just trying to tie Munster in.
O'Connell continues to make his views known.
They don't worry about a 15-metre short side unless it's a decoy to try and just put Mignoni into space. Rougerie is very open.
Mignoni, James, here comes Babby. Well, they're trying to get through that middle area. And Bai's had a go. Babby too. Now it's Rougerie's turn. Mignoni can often slip underneath the tackles.
12 red.
12 red is Lefemi Mafi. And that's a penalty to Clermont Auvergne.
12 red offside.
Wayne Barnes just gave us dues to Lefemi Mafi, who I'm sure is a fine practitioner of the French language. I'm slightly confused there.
I'm sure he's right up there with you on the French front.
Oh, mate, says you.
I don't make any claims.
Nor did I, Miles.
Oh, you should see him in a restaurant. James with the kick. And again, it's success. And further evidence of how players out there today just cannot afford to give those penalties away.
And the mindset that you do not risk playing in your own 22. If it's on, you go. But any doubt, you get down into areas where these kickers cannot punish you, because both men 100% at the moment, and some very hard kicks as well as some excellent striking of the ball.
O'Leary, O'Gara. Oh, this could bounce anywhere. It falls for O'Leary, and O'Connell has just gone forward off the captain. Made the big slide.
Well, O'Gara's high ball, it doesn't go far enough, but it's high enough. O'Leary kicks it, O'Connell's just about in front, and Rougerie can't take any risk. I don't think a referee or touch judge is bound to spot that one. And that is great defence from Aurélien Rougerie there. We saw yesterday Harlequins benefited from a 95-metre offside decision, which no one picked up. Here you can see it again, great kick-off from O'Gara, then the high ball just in front Paul O'Connell, but it's right in the middle of the pitch. No one's going to pick that up with a sea of yellow and red shirts. Rougerie saves his team.
I think O'Connell got a little touch on it, and then the boot came in from Rougerie.
He was waiting to get that big hand on that ball. He was just going to roll with it, wasn't he? He was going over the try line. Great play from Rougerie, but this is a very good scrum position for Munster. And in the last year or two, what Munster have done much better is find a series of back moves that strike when they get the position.
There is a massive blindside for Howlett.
Now, David Wallace, I think if the Munster scrum could solidify this, Wallace will look to go, and don't be surprised if Howlett goes late. 8-9-14 is a good option here.
O'Leary very quick at scrum half. He's almost shoved that way by Mignoni. The referee is going to reset the scrum. The home crowd thought that the pressure was such from Clermont Auvergne that they had forced the Munster front row to stand up. 50-50, says Wayne Barnes. We'll go again.
Crouch.
Pressure here on Melzier. He's got a lot to cover. Another scrum.
and there's some verbal history on it's going. Alan Quinlan on the far side is shouting and trying to tell the touch judge it's all Clermont infringement. As it is, it's a fine scrum position if it goes in.
Well, it can't go in when there's no gap in the tunnel on this side. There's no delay from O'Leary. There was just nowhere the ball could go. Wayne Barnes had gone over to check what was happening on the far side. Big pressure here on the referee. Could be forced into making a major call as we approach half-time as well. It's a great situation for Munster. Can they take advantage? It's controlled just in the end by Wallace. It is a drive from Clermont and Verne. It does go to that side. It does go to Howlett, and Howlett tries to get there. And that is certainly worth checking.
Oh, Doug Howlett, not certain. It's not demonstrative.
Yes
it was 8-9-14. Little shake from Howlett. The move wasn't as slick as it could be. Watch out for Doug Howlett's right foot. It's not there yet. I don't think you can get that. Just stopped.
It's Graham Hughes who's taking a look at this. I think it's worth taking another look. And here it is. It's the flag now no longer counts as being in touch. The flag itself, not the line. We need to have a look on the other side, don't we?
You do. Yeah. Flag is not in touch. It's tight.
Thank you very much. No score. We go back.
Well, the decision is no score.
Number 6 offside. Your penalty.
Well, there's consolation because once again, Binding slipped. Once again, Cudmore at fault. The crowd don't like it, but Wayne Barnes has been very strict on that. And, you know, that's a try in the corner. Guaranteed 5, maybe 7. Got a guaranteed 3 for Munster. They'll take that.
Well, Clermont did start to panic with that space on the blind side, and again, Wayne Barnes decides that they were too quickly off that scrum. Small margins in the end. Doug Howlett didn't quite get in. Maybe because of that offence. O'Gara, 3 points confirmed. Stuart?
Well, if you look at the circle now, scrum half is the man circled. O'Leary needs to draw the Clermont man. He isn't held, and because of that, when you see it roll on, Doug Howlett just doesn't have the clear run because his man hasn't been held. If that's a quicker 8-9-15, it's a try.
So the difference between the two sides again, that Marcus Horan try and the excellent conversion as Lapandry lost it, but it didn't go forward. The conversion from O'Gara now will be seeing Clermont and Verne going for a conversion in a minute as they get back inside that Munster 22. Looking to finish this half as the strongest of the two sides.
It's a big effort to bust Munster from 20 metres with pick and drives.
Yeah, they're going to have to be strong from there.
They won't be strong enough from there. Need something else. They've got to find more pace.
Mignoni, James, Mumbai. Quinlan being dragged out. Ledesma, Flosh, Zirakashvili. Mignoni. James again. Just thought he might be able to go on the inside there with a step. Clermont's coming. Mignoni. Mbai. Tackle from Maffei. Showed him the outside, then he cuts him off. Pierre. How good is this Munster defence?
Well, it needs inspiration from Clermont because Munster's organisation is excellent.
Scratching their heads here, Clermont. How do we find a way through? Domingo. How quick is this ball as well?
It's always two tacklers to one runner, and that's why it's always slow ball at the moment.
Flosh, James, O'Gara's tackle. And again, with a little bit of help, it's always, as you say, an extra man on hand to make sure that gain line is not crossed. The game is going to stop because there's a head injury on this side.
There's two things about that defence from a Munster perspective. One is the organisation, that they trust each other, and the other fact is it's just the will. They make the tackles as 2, as 3 on 1, they're down and they're up. And what they're doing, they're up faster than coming. Look at that from Maffei, and the support so fast in there. Maffei's back on his feet. How do you get quick ball there? You can't. Right now at the moment, Clermont have got to keep this ball off the ground more. Going into contact, they're losing the battle there. They can't keep the pace up. They won't win the game. They have to find more pace to test Munster's defence.
Injection there from the home crowd of atmosphere. Key point of the match, and it's another penalty to keep Clermont Auvergne and their supporters interested.
Well, that should be 12-16, and Clermont will think, for our territorial aggression, for our determination to play, we deserve that. Munster will probably be thinking, well, if they get that with 4 points up at half-time. They've had a lot of territory. We haven't had that many opportunities. We've got the try. Munster just, I think, looks slightly sharp at the moment, and I know it's tempting fate. But I don't know, I just feel this 12-16 is a 12-16. Munster are quite happy with. I think the first half has gone pretty well from their perspective.
They will also know that it's hard to beat Clermont Auvergne here. 8 wins previous to the Sale defeat in Europe on this ground. 8 straight wins. Munster themselves lost here last season, though they did get that vital bonus point. And Brock James keeps amassing points. Clermont Auvergne are never going to be far away.
Now, Munster will be thinking, now, if we can stop them getting the try line and just get another converted score, it's 11 points, and Munster's defence is so solid, it's very hard for them to keep in that game there. Munster will look to strike once more, and then they'll be able to defend. I think they'll fancy their chances. O'Connell again at the restart.
O'Leary, O'Gara, there's Maffei, Dowling. Could see the space there, he was pointing towards it. O'Gara, Earls, Maffei, O'Connell. Final few seconds then of this first half. Just the one try scored by Marcus Horan in the corner. O'Leary, O'Connell, tackled by Jacquet. O'Leary to O'Gara, comes on the ball at pace. Ronan O'Gara, that's beautiful, and nearly to Maffei. Irritating presence for Munster there of Mignoni. So often he is the man to track back and get in the way. It was almost on the stroke of half-time. Try number 2. And a beautiful break from O'Gara. James with the clearance, and that is the interval signalled by Wayne Barnes, the referee, and we have a half-time score here of Clermont Auvergne 12, Munster 16.
12 Munster though here in Clermont-Ferrand. Let's get straight back for the second half. Rejoin Stuart Barnes and Miles Harrison.
Thanks, Simon, and it's there for Munster to win, isn't it? They have the experience, champions twice in the last 3 seasons, and Clermont-Ferrand haven't made that step either in Europe or domestically, where they get to finals but they just can't win them. And that could prove to be vital in the second 40, we shall see.
Well, this is a cup final 40 for Clermont, effectively. If they don't get a result here, they're out. And Munster have mastered this situation so often. There's inspiration needed for Clermont, there really is, because Munster's control in defence has been exquisite in the first half.
And a chance to get some early control here with possession of the ball. But also a chance to give away another one of those penalties. And it's the one area where Munster have let themselves down today. OK, maybe it would have been worse had they not given those penalties away. But, you know, if there is this loss of discipline, it will keep Clermont-Ferrand in touch.
Think about the Heineken Cup final when they played Toulouse, and Toulouse just could not eke out quick ball, and in that final there wasn't a lot of quick ball for Toulouse, but nor were there penalties for Toulouse. In this game, the one-on-one defence, I think as Will said, it has been superb. The will to get up has been excellent, but 5 penalties in 41 minutes, 1 penalty every 8 minutes, that's how you turn a winning position into a losing one, so they do need to be careful here.
Rob James, the man. And we saw the Clermont-Ferrand fans behind the posts get straight to their feet and cheer and wave those flags. It was an excellent strike from the boot of Brock James, as it has been all the way through the afternoon, and that is why Clermont-Ferrand are just a point behind, courtesy of the Brock James boot. La Pandry. Mignoni. Rougerie much taller than Dowling, and he made it count there. Now a chance to sling it out, but Wayne Barnes was just waiting. Got a confirmation there from the touch judge. It had gone forward off Rougerie.
Good kick from Mignoni, hasn't he played well? Left-hander Rougerie knocks it forward. It's just as well for Munster, because Clermont thought there was a broken field to play in, and they've hardly had a broken field to attack, and that's why they've really been an ember so far. They haven't ignited, even though they're right in this game.
Great shot of Dowling there after he come off his step ladder, appealing for the knock-on. Here's Maffey, that's behind Earls and Howlett. Howlett, well, is the master at making sure that when it's gone wrong, it doesn't go badly wrong, Doug Howlett.
Terrible pass, though. Really, Munster for once putting pressure on themselves. Now, O'Leary's kicking game's been good. He'll be looking to the box in the heavens again.
Well, there he goes, but not too far into the heavens. And it's Flosh. James. Rougerie tries to go outside Dowling, and he's got his pass in as well to Ledesma. Dowling gets back and had to.
Well, we've seen one front row forward go over in that corner. Mario Ledesma, a timeless warrior, he was never going. There's a good step from Rougerie. Pulls Horan in and Dowling. The offload's a good one, but that's when he really needs Malzieu. But look at that again. O'Gara is there. There's cover all over the place from Munster. There's not a square inch of easy space for Clermont to exploit.
Finished 26-19 last season, if you remember. Munster's 1 loss in their last 10 against French opposition in Europe. Domingo. Mignoni's little pop ball is good to Jacquet. He finds his second row partner, Pierre. Clermont-Ferrand turn up the heat. And by Rougerie. Murphy wants to go back at him for a second time.
Ronan misses the first easy tackle for Munster, and that built the pressure.
Bonner needing support for the drive. Of course, the maul can be pulled down legally now, but Clermont use it. They'll use a mini maul to give the attack some impetus again.
Well, they have to maul again. There's only two backs outside. Brock James is waving furiously. Keep it tight, he's saying.
There they go. It's coming back to Mignoni. Meant for Rougerie, Howlett and Earls. And Earls runs it out. And he's not going to give that back quickly.
Beautiful kick from Mignoni. Spectacular. Nothing was on there. He's put beautiful weight on that. He knows Howlett can't get there. He knows Earls can't. That's got to be running to touch. That's a masterpiece of a little left foot. Try scoring position, perhaps the first one for Clermont. They have come out hard at the start of this half.
Mignoni was a Grand Slam scrum half 6 years ago.
A victim, perhaps, of Bernard Laporte's inconsistent selection policy, but a master, a hero here in the Auvergne.
And here's a Six Nations winner. Elvis Vermeulen got that late try against Scotland at the end of the 2007 tournament, which won it for France. And he replaces Jamie Cudmore, only just back after 2 months out. Ran out of steam, the Canadian. Abandoned his competition last season, wasn't he?
Quick to pull down there, Munster.
Vermeulen straight into the match, and there's a possibility of a breakaway for Pierre. Promising times these for Clermont. They've got the James penalty since half-time. Now they've got Ledesma trying to rip his way through, throwing furniture out the way. Oh, and that's a lovely little break from James, and he scored!
Crowd goes mad. Munster start missing the tackles. Too many miss. It's given a bit of momentum. It's given the incentive, and Brock James finally finds that slide rule inside break. Ledesma wasn't stopped quickly enough. O'Gara just fades on the ball there. That's the weight of the attack. They have started this half brilliantly, though. Maffey's waiting. O'Gara just a little step off the right foot, and there is no way that Howlett or O'Connell can do anything. They've come out turbocharged. They've got probably 10 points in 5 minutes. Munster, they were in control. They're not anymore. We've got ourselves a game.
So Munster, and this impeccable defence in the first half, unable to hold the onslaught at the start of this second half. Brock James with the conversion. They're all his points. He's got the try as well as the kicks. And Clermont are going to make it a fight for this pull.
You know, young Ronan on the open side has missed a couple of tackles in the build-up to that try. And it's given Clermont just the incentive, just the belief. It's put Munster's defence on the back foot where they're not in control of the game or the tempo.
O'Connell charging forward from the restart. There we have a very different looking scoreline to the one we had just a few minutes ago. 16-12 it was at half-time, and 8 minutes gone in this second half. 10 points scored by the home side.
Oh, Dowling's done well there. Another great kick from Mignoni.
O'Leary. Quinlan. Advantage being played. Wondered why it had come flying out of there. It was a knock-on. O'Gara. Well, that was quite a long advantage for a knock-on. The crowd won't like that.
Wayne Barnes feels that Munster weren't going anywhere.
Jean-Marc Lermay, the director of rugby, didn't like it either, did he?
No, well, you need a Gallic shrug now and again on a Sunday afternoon in the middle of France, and that was a beauty as they go. I can understand why he was disappointed. You know, I have a feeling that sometimes from a knock-on we have a very long advantage when the ball basically is a free attack in play, but you do feel that was just about on the borderline of being right, Wayne Barnes, because Munster never actually built a head of steam. They never got going anywhere forward.
And you never really want the players to start refereeing a la George Gregan by just knocking the ball down and deciding, OK, we'll have it. They need to be in that mindset that they want to play. It is the referee's call.
I mean, George Gregan made that an art form, and then we had a whole decade of cheap imitations. It drove me mad. Got a game on now, though, haven't we? Seen Munster controlling the pace, controlling the game, feeling in control. Now, they haven't got a chase yet, but they've got to be positive. One thing you do know about Munster, there'll be no panic, not yet.
Watching all of this, Sale Sharks, who got their bonus point win against Montauban on Friday night, 36-6. They have 10 points. Played one more game. And Munster and Clermont, this is, of course, Munster and Clermont's game in hand, if you like. Wallace off to O'Leary. That's good pace from O'Leary. And then Ronan, good link work from him. O'Gara to Murphy. It's behind, though. Earls and Howlett again. Just breaking down when it goes out wide, especially on this side of the field.
Doug Howlett's going to be a little bit disappointed. There's some rubbish being passed his way at the moment. This is superb, though. Good pass from Wallace, and O'Leary is quick, but Howlett, the timing's not quite right. Keith Earls, great reputation. Howlett's got up a little bit flat on him there, but just the timing of the Munster passing, not what it's been in the last year or so in this competition. Dare I say it, almost rattled for a minute or two.
Remembered Tupoki out of the midfield today. O'Leary taking a leaf out of Mignoni's book with that harassing at the base.
I think we've seen two good performances from scrum half today. I think O'Leary has been very good. I think Mignoni has just been excellent. The defence in the first half, running the play. Laurie Fisher and McGann looking on. They look calm enough.
Free kick for Mullen. Another infringement which allows Clermont Auvergne the chance for momentum. Oh, that's good work from Wallace. Mignoni, James, O'Leary, great catch, kept his eyes on it. That was risky, but it nearly worked for Quinlan. Eventually it is intercepted for Clermont. Mignoni, James, all they were calling to go right, the crowd wanted it. James has gone for the corner.
Oh, what a kick.
And Howlett's going to have to play this. He's got Flosh in front of him. He's come for the angle up the line, and it's taken by the leaping Domingo. Oh, it's gone straight into Howlett. Howlett needs to get back on his feet, and he has. Everybody required here. Vermeulen is pushed back. Great spell this turning into for Clermont, it is now. Bonaire. Munster really need to hold out here. The home force is on them, and they need to resist.
Starting to look like the first half last year. Mignoni in charge.
Ledesma. And it's been lost again. Oof.
I just said this game last year, 26-19 to Clermont, and they battered Munster in the first 25 minutes. It didn't happen for 40, but now they're attacking the same end again. They are flying. Alan Quinlan off.
Donnacha Ryan, now an international in his test debut as a replacement against Argentina. On for all, Alan Quinlan.
Yeah, unlike last year, Munster had a second half to get the bonus point and get back into the game. Right now they've got half an hour to go, and Clermont are trying to apply the killer touch here.
And it's against the head.
Oh.
One for Ledesma. Mignoni. Here comes Malzier off that wing. Tackled by Matthews, hanging on to him there. Mignoni out to James. Oh, there's a chance wide. Babi, he was looking for Rougerie and he couldn't. The referee's coming back for offside. What a second half so far for Clermont Auvergne. And also what a game for Brock James. You know, he's got all the points, he got them all against Sale.
And he's got his team firing along with his mate Mignoni. It should be 3 points here. Even Ledesma, he's thinking, surely Mario Ledesma. Oh, Clermont. They are taking the 3 points. The great Argentinian was teasing us for a while. They fancied the scrum. I think their pack said, come on, we've taken one against the head, let's finish Munster off. 3 points does not finish Munster off, but it takes them out of bonus point range.
The clouds starting to gather on what was a beautifully clear day in more ways than one, certainly for Munster, and it's over to this man, Brock James, once more. Look at that record, 100%. Can he add 3 more points? And then Munster would be out of bonus point range. It's another kick from James that was never in doubt, nor should it be from there on the field at this level, but there's a lot of pressure on Clermont Auvergne here. They have to win, and at the moment they're starting to look like winners.
Oh, they responded absolutely magnificently in this second half. 13 unanswered points against Munster. Munster have been rocked by this. Suddenly there's power, the half-backs are on the front foot, and Munster hanging on at the moment.
Rougerie away. Well, he set the tone, didn't he, with that tackle in the first half, and his side have responded physically for him. We saw Domingo with that run just a couple of minutes ago.
Well, they're battering Munster at the moment, but technically there's some good stuff as well. That was an excellent kick. No angle there from Aurélien Rougerie to the Munster 10-metre line, putting a lot of pressure on.
Wallace, well, he got it back in the end. Maffey, O'Leary, Sheehan. Crowd calling everything as forward. Well, the ones wearing yellow and blue, that is. Rougerie. Here's Flosh into that left boot of his. O'Gara will take control. He's got the boots, and he's got the length as well. Mbai. Howlett. Oh, how's he to play it? He's always struggling. Play on, says the referee. Came off a Clermont player when it fell to Murphy. And then it was O'Callaghan. Now it's O'Leary. Here comes Maffey. There's that offload of his. Murphy can't hold it. Turnover ball. Domingo wants a pace man. Rougerie is that man. Jacquet. Up from James. Out of those clouds. Came off Howlett, falls for Malzieu. At the moment, Howlett not quite his comfortable, normal self. Zirakashvili. Munster working hard at the breakdown. O'Connell there, but it's still with Clermont, and it's on to Mbai from Mignoni, and there's a chance again to get it out wide. He's being pulled back inside to Mbai once more. Flosh, Domingo. Oh, this now the meat of the match.
Clermont pulling Munster wide either way, as you say. Doug Howlett looking nervous. When Munster get the ball, they're not holding it long enough. They're allowing Clermont to build this game at the moment, driving from the forwards, and they're getting the big wide runners threatening down the channels they love to run in.
It could be decision time over the next few minutes. Both sides know it. Another score here for Clermont Auvergne. And in the mountains, Munster facing a mountain. Zirakashvili lost it. That's useful for Munster.
Well, it certainly is. I mean, Zirakashvili and his mate Domingo have been fantastic. These two props have carried well, they've made their tackles. They've been pillars turning this thing around for their team. Albert Vermeulen's come on at 8. He's added to the running game, but when Munster have had the ball, because they've been tentative, because they've been rocked, they've made little errors, they've turned over ball, and they've just given Clermont a chance to feed and build.
Wallace. But again, you could see what he was trying to do, trying to get that away quickly and use his power, but Clermont Auvergne that time had stayed down. It was still through quickly. James, Malzieu, the more he comes into the match, the more problems for Munster with that stepping power of his. Mignogne's long pass to Rougerie, can he get himself going for the standing start? Dowling's done well to hold him.
We didn't see these wide passes in the first half, they're flooding in.
James is going through the middle. Howlett needs to be sure here. Solid from Howlett. Got good support as well, so he wasn't forced to hold on and give away an easy 3 points. O'Gara.
It's a very fine kick from Ronan O'Gara to relieve an extensive period of pressure. Clermont have been flickering and not much more than that all season. 2 weeks ago I watched them beat Perpignan here and they looked ominous. They then lost to Mont-de-Marsan, bottom in the league last week, and you think Jekyll or Hyde. The problem is the danger man's turned up today for Munster.
Well, their last 8 games they've had a sequence.
I know.
Win-loss, 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 win-loss.
I looked at that and I thought, nah, you can't judge who's going to win on that, but right now it's looking like a W.
Did you look at the first 6 as well? Loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. I mean, there's a side that just can't find consistency.
I didn't look at the first 6. I did the last 8. I was aware they're inconsistent, but your statistical determination, your grasp of these facts, Miles, is astonishing.
More stats than a linguist.
Just watching this now, you know, Munster are still, they're well in this game at 25-16 points-wise, but they've just allowed all the momentum to go away from them. Clermont have taken it.
But these stats are only useful when they tell a story, and that certainly does tell a story about Clermont's season and the way they've struggled to have any kind of run of form.
Well, it tells you about Clermont's first home game here and how Sale controlled them so easily and then just put them away for a magnificent 5 points. And this is a completely different team. That's taking nothing away from Sale's shots, but this is a very hungry Clermont. And unless Munster do something very quickly, Clermont are opening this pool up again.
Well, we had a scrum like this in the first half that needed constant resetting. Everybody involved in it, especially the men right at the front, just know how important it is to get that nudge on. And it's gone against Clermont Auvergne.
A reprise there for Munster.
O'Gara finds his touch, and that was essential there. He was never going to be too risky with that kick. About to see a change here at hooker. Dennis Fogarty, there he is, about to come on for Frank Sheehan. No Jerry Flannery at the moment. There is a possibility that Flannery will be over his knee injury next week, but he still remains doubtful for the return at Thomond Park.
18 long minutes before we get there. How Clermont, I don't think Clermont could even dream here of 3 tries in the next 18 minutes. That's going to be beyond them, but they would love to shut Munster out. 4-0 gives them a sniff. Munster still have the advantage because Sale won here and they beat Sale away, so they've got Clermont and Sale at home. But if Clermont get a 4-0, this group is open, believe me.
Mathis crash ball. O'Leary. And again, With Fogarty, the new man, involved, then Earls. Stay on your feet, says the referee.
No doubt about it again. Wayne Barnes, spot on there. He's very strict on this. I was chatting to him, wandering around Clermont this morning, and he just said, I just can't stand people staying off the feet. He's saying about watching matches where he sees the ball bound at the back, and he's just thinking that tells you something. He wants to make sure we don't get those static situations, and he's doing it very well. Let's watch O'Leary there, straight off his feet. And to Munster's credit, there was no complaint there. That's a penalty. Wayne Barnes, bang, penalty, straight as well.
That's exactly what the law is there for, that kind of incident.
It makes you wonder why referees forgot about it for 10 years, but there we are.
Mignoni, James. This will be Earls. Well, it should have been, and it's going to be a penalty. He was bumped out the way.
It was a monstrous kick. Earls is hurt. Earls was always going to take a big hit there. What a superb kick that really was. The chase a split second early. Otherwise, not just bells in Earls' head, but danger bells for Munster there. Brilliant high ball. And there you can see quite clearly the man in front.
The uncompromising Benoit
Babi,
Babi.
yeah.
Munster still have time to turn this back in their favour, but it's going to need a monumental effort.
Oh yeah, Munster have got time to win this game, but I think what we've got to acknowledge is in the first 24 minutes of this half, it has been all Clermont. They've got to find the key to taking the steam out of the home team.
And also Munster, the masters of knowing that, you know, if you can leave with something to show for everything that you put into the match, if it was just a bonus point, that in the final analysis might be enough.
They won the Heineken Cup, losing 2 games at pool stage, and they won it because the bonus point in defeat they got here, when it seemed impossible, was the one that gave them the edge, needing to beat Wasps and do nothing else. They paced this tournament better than anyone, but right now they're being outpaced by Clermont this afternoon.
We could make a case that Matthew's try last season here was the one that won Munster the Heineken Cup. And here he is, right on cue to carry the ball forward. Good hands there from O'Callaghan. And Ronan was the supporting man, and then O'Connell with swift hands. Created chances in the first half, really haven't in the second, Munster, but they're going to get something here. A penalty of their own.
Long-range kick for Ronan O'Gara, but he has been deadly accurate so far, and if a successful penalty would put them into bonus point range.
He's not going for it, he's going for the touchline.
What does that tell you about Munster? Does it tell us that this is a team 9 points down, who you would think would say, hey, if we can come out of Clermont with a point, brilliant. But that was almost the kick of a team who said, look, we're 9 down, we've got to win this game. A really positive decision there, I think, from Munster.
Munster have backed themselves. Fogarty will throw. O'Connell to give the call. To the tail, O'Leary. Dowling acting scrum half. O'Connell. O'Leary back in his position, but he's caught in possession by Vermeulen. Munster had the numbers to preserve possession. O'Connell again. Horan trying to get there. All looking so rosy when Horan went over in the first half. Still 1 try apiece. Difference has been the James boot. And at the moment, there's costly penalties. How costly, we don't know. O'Connell. It was liable to happen. Players weren't staying on their feet there.
Well, this is really hurting Munster. In the first half, it was defensive penalties. This time, Paul O'Connell, you see, his feet cannot bear his own weight, and Wayne Barnes says, "Captain, you're straight off your feet." Technically, he's on them, but he's bridging over players on the floor, and referees have been told that is not allowed.
Tony Buckley about to come on, played such an important role in the try here last season. A thrilling try. There he is, Buckley for Horan is the change.
Well, he's a great carrier, Tony Buckley, and what Munster need now is some dynamism. It's not about the scrum, pretend to go, it's about finding a way to get going forward. And Horan, who hasn't been well this week, his legs have gone now, he's played his part.
Alexandre Audebert has come on to replace another Alexandre, young Lapandre. Audebert, whose boots met Ronan O'Gara last season. And by Mignoni, Sirikashvili, Mignoni, Foch, Melzier, Fogarty, the freshman. Just can't get the territory, Munster.
These drives in the second half have sapped them as well. Clermont have been good tight.
Pierre's drive there. Mignoni. James.
That's another good one.
It's another with snow on it. And Keith Earls not impeded illegally and did well, called for the mark, and look at the pace on the counter. He's got it away quickly.
Boy, that was tremendous play from Keith Earls. The quality of the up and unders from Brock James, second to none I've seen this season. Every one of them is causing major problems, and their young full-back was under major pressure from Mbai there. He did not take his eye off the ball and then counter-attacked. James has really controlled this game with Mignoni this half. On the front foot, it has been textbook half-back play.
As well as Sale played in the opening game, much better performance from Clermont Auvergne in this match today, and the crowd have responded to that. Strangely lethargic at times against Sale, although always keen in these situations, never take anything away from the side that's played so well to score 4 tries. Earls, he's caught it again, but he's also caught Mbai. Caught Mbai right in his face. But look at that from O'Connell. How to protect the ball. Maffey might think this is on. And he gets through. Maffey now. He's looking for support. And it was to his right. Didn't glance over that shoulder. All the time he was looking left. And it wasn't there. And it's a penalty. And it's a disappointing end to that attack, which had promised so much.
Well, it's very rarely that Munster suffer at the hands of the referee, but today Wayne Barnes is just not letting them go off their feet, and it's in attack now. It is really hurting them. This is the best of Maffey. He's got such fast feet and a powerful fend, but the support can't get there. He's looking for support, he's going away from it, and then straight off the feet, you can see Ronan's shirt go up in the air as he takes off from the ground. I mean, it's pretty senseless play, because they know what Wayne Barnes is going to do.
Domingo just has a little stretch. Side of those calves.
Mighty impressive, Domingo. He's a local lad, isn't he? He's going to be a hero in Clermont tonight.
At 23, come through the ranks here. that's it for Domingo. Laurent Emanuele comes on, and listen to the cheer for both players, of course, but Domingo getting a great reception from the crowd there as he leaves the local boy. Emanuele, he's been around the block in French rugby, all over the place. Audebert tried to make it and couldn't. It's O'Leary's and O'Gara's. And those two leading the chase and getting the penalty.
It should be an extra 10 metres, and that is now a 3-point chance for Munster.
What a mistake, what a loss of discipline from Clermont Auvergne. In the context of the pool, could be crucial because O'Gara is told by O'Connell that he didn't need telling to go for posts here now. It was too far out. We know that for Ronan O'Gara, this is not too far out. Now Ronan leaves, James Coughlin comes on.
Just tired a bit, I think, in the second half, Niall Ronan. I just don't think the balance of their back row as good as it has been. But what a lax moment from Clermont. Not only does this give Munster a bonus point, it also gives Munster 6 minutes to score a try and win this game. And we've been commentating on this team for years, and you wouldn't put anything past Munster. After a 25-minute, half-hour pummelling, if this goes over, they've got a chance yet.
First thing to go for the bonus point. Can they get that? O'Gara, well, he's told me he's back over halfway. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant from Ronan O'Gara. Within 6.
That's the launch pad. Superb kick from O'Gara. Still over 5 minutes to go for a team as experienced as Munster. It's not eternity, but it's plenty.
Six points, 6 minutes. Maffey. Oh. How did he get away there? And he's still going. What effort he puts in for his side. What a signing he's been. He's gone forward, says Wayne Barnes.
They've been unforgiving, haven't they, Clermont, defensively in this half? Just as Munster controlled it and made the tackles, there's been an urgency, a dynamism in the tackling there. Really good play there. Bonner has had a quiet season. He hasn't quite recovered from after the World Cup, where I feel he played so well but was disappointed with what happened to France. He's starting to play again, a really world-class player at his best.
Difficult introduction to the game, that, for Coughlin. The ball was dislodged in another powerful tackle. We've seen so many today from both sides. That's an accidental offside. It's led to a turnover and a valuable put in here for Munster.
Pressure will come on again. Clermont have scrumped very well this half. It's made life very difficult for O'Leary. Good scrum by the home team.
O'Gara. This will belong to Flosh. He's got Rougerie on hand just in case, but Flosh with that very effective left boot gets it out. Referee calls a halt. A slight injury break. That is the attendance here. I'll tell you what, nowhere near the figure that we got in Paris yesterday, but if my ears are not lying, it's a very similar level of noise, such as the atmosphere on this ground for these big occasions.
Very different feel here to Paris, isn't it? Paris has the big city feel. This has a communal tightness to it. This is a rugby community. This is very much like an outpost. It's not a rugby area really, but it's got that Munster feel to it. Now Ronan O'Gara didn't find touch there, but he had enough length on that kick to force Flosh to boot the ball out on the 10-metre line. 40 metres out, Munster can play from there. That's a 40-metre gain from O'Gara and his team. These are the little basics that give his team the chance. One final chance, perhaps.
If it stays like this, Munster have the bonus point. They're looking for more here. And having led at half-time, and having much the better of the play in the first period, of course they're going for more. Can they rediscover some of those first half moments? O'Leary switching it, finding O'Connell, seeking a little bit of space, but also seeking a man to take out and then just turn and give that ball back. Ryan has a go. O'Leary, O'Gara, missing out Maffey, given to Wallace. It will be typical of Munster to score a try now. Fogarty. O'Leary, O'Gara just had to delay because cleverly Clermont have pushed up in defence there, and that's a pretty robust challenge at the breakdown from the home club. Buckley now.
They're keeping the ball, Munster.
And getting ever nearer. O'Leary, this is going to be difficult, but Howlett somehow got it. O'Callaghan beating a couple of men. Or to bear with the tackle. Can they get inside that 22? They're going in it now. Howlett, Wallace, Fogarty, it's back again. O'Leary, Hayes. What an effort this is. O'Leary again. O'Gara, determined to hold on to this ball and now strike. Maffey goes wide. Oh, it's gone forward. Just when it seemed that the opening had been prized.
Just about Munster's first meaningful attack in this half, and you sensed it was on there, and Maffey, who has been probably the most defiant player in this half, gives the forward pass, and it was on for a split second. Still work to do, but they had Clermont stretched there. 2 minutes to go, there's still time, but they may not get a better chance than that. Worked it one way. Yeah, clearly a forward pass. I think probably what he needed to do there was go to Colin and not go for the missed pass. That would have enabled them to just keep the move building. In the end, he went for the killer pass, and it was never really on.
Mignoni to James, who's been named as man of the match by the host broadcasters here in France. That's a slice from Floch, and that keeps Munster in it. Clermont and Verne have to win, they know that. How open is this pool going to be in 2 minutes' time?
Well, Floch, he knows that this game is a long way from done. You don't slice kicks like that against Munster when they can still beat you.
Fogarty throws, the ball is good. O'Leary to O'Gara. Now it's Maffey, beaten, well, a couple of men. And importantly, that first one right on the gain line. O'Leary once more, that's gone forward, and it's also gone into Clermont hands. And in the final minute, Clermont should be able to close it out now. Very similar scoreline to last season, just a point difference. It was 26-19 then. And Mignoni, who's had an excellent get alongside James, was looking very calm. He's not so calm now. Back on the even keel. Can Munster find a way to get it? Look at that clock. What can be done? Eventually Clermont decide to play, but it's only the smallest of drive forwards. And listen to the home crowd, they think it's done. Out it goes from Mignoni, and for the second year running, Clermont have just too much for the champions at home, and they still have time in this pool to turn it around. They're still in it. But Munster get their bonus point as they did last season. It was enough then. And of course, with the return in Ireland next week, Munster still very well positioned in this pool, but Sale with their bonus point win on Friday, still cooking along nicely, having won on this ground. Stuart, this pool is much more open than it was at kick-off time today.
Yeah, you know, a couple of things. I think Clermont Auvergne had to win, and that gave them an edge. They were also playing Munster, who are the champions of Europe. They're the team everybody wants to beat. It gives them an extra few percent. That made it so difficult for Munster. I think O'Connell's team did really well. They defended superbly, controlled the game in the first half, but they gave an early penalty away in the second half. Clermont just built up a head of steam, and it wasn't until about 75 minutes that Munster could really quell it. They lost 26-19 last year. They went on and they won the European Cup. Having beaten Sale away, with Clermont and Sale to come at Thomond Park, they remain favourites. Montauban away becomes a dangerous game from them now. They are the favourites, but this group, we knew it was going to be difficult. It looks very hard again after Clermont, who are back in it, have burst it wide open.
And you can see on the Munster faces there, no great worry, no great concern. They've got their bonus point. They're still driving this pool, and they will have Clermont Auvergne back at their place next weekend.